Hey, what's up everybody, Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you guys very much for taking time out to check it out. I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, and if you haven't already, give this video a liking, because I don't get enough of those in my life, you know? Sometimes you just want a liking, and this is one of those times. I'm the Crapgamer, the king of all game-related media, the albino rhino, the most compelling motherfucker on YouTube, and you know it. Also, the pony leg breaker extraordinaire. Now, we all know that Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming to the PlayStation 4 this year. We also know that Digital Foundry is trying to change the narrative as far as what's most important and things like that. But we also know that they have a certain specific love for the PS4. For whatever reason. I'm not really exactly sure what the reason is, but their preference is the PS4. More power to them. So they're doing the analysis, which is what they do, you know what I mean? And from a technical standpoint, I guess that's what drives fanboys to their site as well. And both games are 1080p locked 30 frames per second, right? So many fanboys that were all like, oh wow, you know, it's going to be 60 frames per second on the PS4, and now we know that that's not the truth at all. So it's going to be 30 frames per second on both locked, you know. And the difference is, because I remember the reasoning behind this, people were like, I can't wait for the 1080p 60 frames per second version on the PS4, because we know that the definitive edition was 60 frames per second on the PS4. First of all, the definitive edition was a last gen game that got ported over, and it had an unlocked frame rate that would top out usually around 45 frames per second on the PS4 because it was unlocked, whereas the Xbox One version of the definitive edition was locked at 30, and it had a very smooth frame rate and things like that. They were made by two different developers, or ported by two different developers. So people assumed because they had an unlocked frame rate on the PS4 version of the definitive edition that Rise of the Tomb Raider would be the same way. But if you look at the specs needed for Rise of the Tomb Raider, a current gen game, to hit 60 frames per second on PC, it was insane, and it was a lot more power than what the PS4 has to offer. So I knew right away that it would not be 60 frames per second. Now, both are 1080p, 30 frames per second locked. Both look exactly the same. But of course, in Digital Foundry's epic way of doing things that they do, they say, hey, guess what? Despite these both being 1080p 30 frames per second, the PS4 version is better because there's no input lag like the Xbox One version. What the hell game were they playing? There is absolutely no input lag. I've played the 360 version and the Xbox One version, and there was no input lag whatsoever. So we've gone from being able to brag about, you know, pixels, we've gone from being able to brag about frames per second, and now they're bragging about input lag. I've never even heard of this argument before, let alone on a game that's exactly the same. But leave it to Digital Foundry, I guess, to kind of give the PS4 version a win somehow, you know. And this is the stuff that I have a problem with. It's not that, you know, it's not that I particularly care, but it's just the fact that, you know, the media tends to get away with this time and time again, and as a gamer, it's really kind of, I guess, annoying. You know, I realize that they're going to draw clicks to their sites and things like that by saying that, and you're going to give the fanboys something to beat their chest over. Hey, more grass. Hey, less input lag. But it's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. And this is the same place that has said that there was more grass on a version of Grand Theft Auto 5. So I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. Rack it up. Crapgamer out.